After observing you for a while, people have quietly come to a certain conclusion about you. So, today's reading, we're going to talk about the assessment people quietly made about you. Okay, so this is going to be a collective reading. So, there are no piles. So, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, so what is the assessment people quietly made about you, my collective? What is the assessment people quietly made about you? Wow. What is the assessment people quietly made about you? Let's see. I heard headstrong. That's an assessment people are have quietly made about you. The assessment people quietly made about you. That you're hard to read. There's many layers to you. You could be a Pisces here. There's so many layers to you. It's hard to like categorize you. People are assessing the fact that you are someone who is multidimensional, multifaceted. So the assessment people quietly made about you. Ooh, we have the Ten of Cups. What they've assessed, what they've realized, and the conclusion that they've came about you is that you are someone who's emotionally sovereign, someone who is aligned with your highest, your deepest calling with the Ten of Cups. You're emotionally content, you're happy, you're joyful. It's not an act, you're not fronting. The assessment people quietly made about you. What do we have? Ooh. That you are someone who is solid, who's a great judge of character with the judgment card, with this energy. You're someone who is bright. Like initially, maybe the conclude before observing you, like when people were just starting off, they may have like misjudged you or placed certain labels on you that were not truth or was not really in alignment with who you actually are, and people are like backtracking on that with the judgment card. Okay, so the assessment people quietly, yeah, the conclusion that they made about you is that you are someone who is a go-getter, someone who plans things ahead. Okay, somebody who does not get stuck in situations, environment, places, jobs, relationships that are not in alignment with you with the Two of Wands. Okay, the assessment that people have quietly made about you is that you are someone who is destined for greatness, someone who has a lot of potential to reach new heights that have not been attained in the past. Okay, so I also feel like there's certain people in your social circle or people that are adjacent to your social circle that are making that assessment about you. They're seeing like your potential, your qualifications, your capabilities. Okay, so the assessment people quietly made about you, we have the Nine of Wands, that you are a warrior, that you're very strong, capable. Also, like there is an energy of like you gone through a lot of obstacles and challenges in life, and it definitely build your character with the Nine of Wands. You're not the type of individual that is easily that crumbles easily under pressure with the Nine of Wands. That is the conclusion that people have made about you. Okay, so the assessment people quietly made about you, the assessment people quietly made, ooh, bounce, that you are a natural born a leader, that you are a self-starter, you're a self-made individual with the Emperor energy. You could be an Aries, don't have to be. You could also be a Capricorn or a Pisces, or have these elements in your like these signs in your chart prominently. Okay, but with the Emperor, The conclusion that people have made about you, like the assessment, is that you are someone who has the capability to build a solid empire for yourself, that you have amazing leadership qualities. You're the type of individual that is, like with the two wands, have the capability to reach new height that has not been obtained by anyone in your surroundings, anyone in your social circle. Okay, the assessment people quietly made about you, we have the Six of Swords. So you're the type of individual that does not look for trouble. Like, you move on, right? So let's say somebody does you dirty. You're not the type of individual that's going to retaliate. You're not going to do that. You're not going to seek, not that you wouldn't seek justice, but you wouldn't take matters into your own hands. Like, you would allow it to, like, you will allow the universe, God, whatever force that you believe in, take the take the lead on that. Like, you will just continue to do your own thing and keep it pushing with the Six of Swords. So the assessment people quietly made, ooh, we have the Hierophant, Taurus energy. And if you are a Taurus and it's your birthday today, happy birthday, okay? So the assessment people quietly made about you is that you're somebody who operates in with integrity with the Hierophant, okay? That you are also extremely knowledgeable, very skilled. Some of you could be Taurus, Aries cuspers, or Aries Pisces cuspers here, okay? But you're extremely knowledgeable here. This is something that people have concluded about you. You're somebody who has high standards for yourself with the Hierophant as well. The assessment people quietly made about you, we have the Knight of Cups, smooth operator, okay? You're sympathetic, you're genuine, okay? This is the assessment that people quietly made about you. Like, you're the real deal. You're not pretending, you're not performing for approval, you're not performing so people could be like, you're definitely somebody who's likable, naturally likable. So you're not performing so for people to like you or to gravitate towards you. You're just honest. The assessment people quietly made about you, we have the Strength card. Oh, that you're courageous, that you're bold, okay, that you're a sovereign individual. You could be a Leo here, don't have to be, but yeah, you're powerful. You're somebody who is mentally strong. You're not easily swayed or manipulated. This is like the observation that people have captured. Like, this is like what they've captured, what they've observed about you. You're someone who's sovereign. You are someone who does not easily bend to other people's will or rules. Like, basically no one could influence you with the Strength card. That's the assessment that people quietly made about you. You're not easily influenced. If you say no, it's no, and you're not going to go back and forth with someone. It's like, I said what I said. Okay, so who said that? I think it was like one of those housewives. I think it's Nini or Nene. Guys, if I'm not saying her name correctly, please don't come for me in the comments. Okay, but like, I said what I said. Okay, like, that's the energy I'm getting here. The assessment people quietly made about you. Ooh, you have strong boundaries here. Mm-mm. You are someone who will defend your position. You're not afraid of opposition as well with the Seven of Wands. That's the assessment people quietly made about you. Like, you're not a pushover. Like, if somebody's gonna come to you, step to you crazy, like, if they expect you to back down or cower down and be like, oh no, please talk to me like that, they're gonna F around and find out real quick. The assessment people quietly made about you, we have, yeah, you're a go-getter with the Three of Wands. Okay, you're a visionary, you're bold. That's what people are, that's the assessment people quietly made about you with the Three of Wands. Okay, you're going places. Ooh, we have the Three of Cups that flew out. Amicable, yeah, you're genuine. Like, you're also the type of individual with the Seven of Wands. You have strong boundaries here and you're not afraid to reinforce them. And if you allow someone into your world, is because you generally, like, vibe with that person. You're not going to just invite somebody into your world and you don't even vibe with them. You're not going to do that. There's no fake ish with you. People, that's like their assessment about you. Okay, the assessment people quietly made about you, Ooh, that you're highly intuitive. You could be a Cancer here. Yeah, very perceptive, intuitive. It's hard to manipulate you or to pull the wool over your eyes. You're someone who knows more than you let on. With the High Priestess, you see more than you let on, and that's people's assessment. Like, they may not know what you know, but they know you could see. Like, you're aware, very receptive. Like, you could see what people are doing. Like, people were doing it um fake-ish, you could see it with the High Priestess. You just know, you intuitively know. And some people might be afraid of your intuitive gifts, your intuitive power, because they're not used to people like you. Okay, people that can read them like an open book. We have the Page of Pentacles that was already flipped over. So with the Page of Pentacles, like, the assessment that people quietly made about you is that you're someone who is valuable. With the Page of Pentacles, yes, the Page of Pentacles is a scholar, he is a student, but this is someone who is very practical, somebody who is that could see patterns, provides positive reinforcing operational feedback with the Page of Pentacles. So this could be related to your workplace, the assessment that people have made about you as a coworker, as a colleague, as a manager, whatever position that you hold within your organization. People have noticed with the Page of Pentacles, they have assessed that you are someone who brings a lot of value. And there's also an element of continuous growth with the Page of Pentacles. So the assessment people quietly made about you, we have the Emperor again, bounce. Okay, you have amazing leadership qualities. That's the fact that it came out twice. It's emphasizing on that, and that's something that people may have felt or analyzed, clocked about you with the king. Wow, the Emperor energy. Okay, so the assessment people quietly made about you, the assessment people quietly made about you, the assessment. Ooh, we have the Page of Swords. You are a lot more observant than you let on. Yeah, with the High Priestess as well. This is like saying that you take a lot of mental notes. You don't really, you watch more than you speak. With the Page of Swords, you watch, you pay attention. You are the type of individual that also could like recognize or identify discrepancies in people's stories, in people's thinking or the explanation. Like, you can see the gaps quickly with the Page of Swords, and that's people's assessment about you, like what they concluded about you. Like, you're not somebody who could be easily mentally challenged. Okay, like, you're too agile with the Page of Swords. The assessment people quietly made about you, you're witty. Yeah, we have the Queen of Cups, emotional intelligence here. You know how to read the room with the Page of Cups, sorry, the Queen of Cups. You're emotionally sovereign, you're emotionally intelligent. That is the assessment that people quietly made about you. But like I said, going back to you being genuine with the Three of Cups and now the Queen of Cups coming out, like your feelings, your authenticity, the way that you operate, the way that you deal with people, there's no strings attached. The assessment people quietly made about you, the assessment people quietly made about you. Ooh, we have the Chariot, structured and disciplined. We have Cancer energy twice, and we have Aries. So cardinal energy, self-starter, initiator, someone who is driven. Okay, you're always moving forward. Okay, with the Chariot, this is something that people quietly assessed about you. That's the assessment that they've made. That you're somebody who's a go-getter. You always aim for excellence as well. So the assessment people quietly made about you, ooh, the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter energy, expansion. There's definitely this energy of expansion about you with the Wheel of Fortune that people have quietly assessed. Like, you're always expanding, you're always learning, you're always growing. And there's also this lucky streak, okay? Because Jupiter is like luck and fortune, right? So there's this lucky streak about you that people have assessed. Like they've noticed that you always land on your feet, especially people that have been observing you for a while and that knows your personal story. So people from your past and family members and stuff like that. Like these people, they have like more information, or they have like a closer look into your life because they have a closer proximity than compared to a stranger. And these people, they've noticed that, like, you have some sort of a lucky star. So the assessment people quietly made about you, the assessment people quietly made. Ooh, we have the Two of Cups, that you are the ideal lover. So you may have had experiences in the past with people, with when it comes to relationship, friendship, where people didn't see your value initially when they were with you, or when they had access to you. But the moment that access has been revoked, and there has like distance has been created, they realized, or by observing you, over time, that you were always the ideal lover. You may have some people right now that are looking for you in other people, but they can't replicate the energy and the experience that they had with you with someone else. The assessment people quietly made about you. Ooh, we have the sun, the Leo energy. So we have Leo twice. We have all the fire signs. So you could have fire in your chart heavily or be a fire sign. The assessment people quietly made about you is that you are authentic with the sun. There is positivity, there's success radiating in you. That confidence level that you have is not performative with the sun card. Like, the way that you show up, your authentic self, the way that you shine, your creativity, your flair, everything about you is unique. And that's something that people quietly, that's the assessment that they made about you. That's why we have the moon, right? There's a lot of ambiguity, people that cannot pinpoint you or put you in a box, because you are unique, you are original. There's so many layers to you, but there's also authenticity. What they see is really what they get. The assessment people quietly made about you. Just one card, please, Spirit. Ooh, the Ten of Cups again. Yes, emotional authenticity. There's a purity about you in your heart, like the way that you operate, okay? Ooh, we have the Page of Cups that flew out. Yes. You're an easy person to deal with the Page of Cups. You're very friendly, amicable, okay, with the Page of Cups. This is the assessment that people quietly made about you. It's like, especially people that are more on the observant type before they approach someone, like especially when it comes to relationship, like people are noticing, like especially with the Two of Cups, like you would be the ideal lover, like just though your temperament, like how you move in the world. You're not somebody who is like always on, like you're not somebody who's always like or like someone who's reactive or hothead or anything of that sort. Like you're very calm, cool, and collected. You do have strong boundaries here, which is not a problem. But like when it comes to genuine heartfelt experiences with you, is authentic, and this is what people have assessed about you quietly. Okay. So that's all I have for the collective. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.